Hello from the land of TV. This is King Kool with the latest edition of King Kool's Distracted Movie Reviews. Now you might be wondering, okay, why am I in the Zen Garden? Well, I've now tried twice to record this review, and both times something has gone wrong. The first time I recorded it, and the sound, I accidentally wasn't recording the video. I recorded the sound, and that all worked fine. Okay, fine. So then I decided, okay, I'm just going to try it again from where I was. Started again, and then recorded the whole thing again. Then when I tried to stop Audacity, it crashed. I hate Audacity. I'm going to go out and say that. So, and I'm like, oh god, I'm stressed, I got a headache, because I was playing an old DOS game, so the PC speaker things were emulated into my headphones, so I'm like, I just gotta relax. So, I'm just taking this time out, just taking a little bit of a breather. Relax. Water my plants. Remember that everything's okay. I got my Advil here, I'll take some now. If I have to do this again, I'm not taking more Advil, so I hope this makes it in. And, good. And, hopefully we can get through it this time. This is why I'm now doing a game that I can do in Fraps, and not have to sync up the video and audio, like I do in DOSBox, which wasn't such a pain in the ass until now. I'm actually surprised it took me until episode 5 to have to completely redo an episode. Because so far I haven't had to do that, which is nice. But anyway, I am getting a little sidetracked. But today on the show, I'll be talking about Toy Story 2, which was suggested by everyone's favorite Matt Wiggins. It wasn't suggested specifically for my Distracted Movie Reviews. This was actually months ago in my 100-word review topic on the Lure boards like ages ago. I mentioned that I hadn't seen Toy Story 2 in my review of Toy Story 3, and he was like, we really should see it, it's the best. Matt says this. And then Matt Carfer says, if by best you mean worst. And then Matt says, no, by best I do actually mean best. And then like a month later, James leaps in and says, nah, Toy Story 2 was the worst of the bunch. And I say, gentlemen, please! You can both marry me! But anyway, I was like, okay, if I ever do get my own Netflix, like when I was screening movies on my bro's Netflix Instant for the end of the thing, I checked to see if it was there, but it's not. It's only on disc. So I'm like, all right, fine. If I get my own disc version, I'll then rent Toy Story 2 and check it out. And that's exactly what I did, and then now happened. So anyway, Toy Story 2. I can see. I wonder if preferring Toy Story 2 or 3 depends on what order you saw them in, but I have to guess not, because a lot of people have put it on like top 10 lists. In a way, I'm like, I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. It's good, it's great, in fact. Best movie of the year. Eric Snyder said it was best movie of the year, and I'm like, wow, really? Okay. Like, I think that might be a little excessive, though I wouldn't be able to immediately say why I thought it wasn't. I mean, I know there's just other movies I think I like better, but not some movies that are similar. Like when I was telling people what's the best movie of the year, and I was saying, alright, Inception and Black Swan were my favorite movies that I saw that year, but they're so different, I don't see the point in trying to say that one was better than the other. One is really fun, and one is really frightening. So it's like, there's no comparison. But anyway, on to Toy Story 2. It has a sort of similar plot to Toy Story 3, in that Woody gets separated. He's actually added to a collection of the toys that apparently, he was from a TV show from like the 50s. So he's apparently quite valuable, and he completes a set that means that these other toys get to come out of storage, and they're going to go live in a toy museum in Tokyo. But if he tries to escape and goes home, they're like, well, that means we go back in storage, for another 35 years, or whoever, because there may not be another Woody doll out there at all. I'm out of bug spray. Let's see if I have enough money for bug spray. I think I do. Anyway, but you know, it's Woody gets separated, and they all have to go try to rescue him, which is quite similar to what happens to in Toy Story 3, where except that they're all out of home. But I think what the difference is that the events in Toy Story 3 have somewhat more gravity because it's the last of a series, and you know it tends to be just okay. We're gonna wrap everything up. Where I think in Toy Story 2, they even make jokes about making Toy Story 3. Like Prospector Pete, who's one of the new characters, goes out and says to these two Barbie dolls, you know, I can get you a place in Toy Story 3 if you want, if you're interested. Where in Toy Story 2, I think things have more risk. Like, as much as I like the whole Great Escape thing that was in Toy Story 2, but is anyone else bored watching me water these plants? Yeah, to hell with this. Let's go have some fun. Alright, well, I'm certainly back. Sorry about that. Like, the things that they do in Toy Story 2 just seem a whole lot more risky than they do in Toy Story 3. Like, in Toy Story 2, it's late at night, no one's watching them, they're not really worried about being discovered. Now, I don't think there's not rules for, like, when they're discovered, they have to go to in front of the High Council or something. It's like, you were seen by a human and something else, whatever. It's just like, okay, you're not supposed to show people that you're alive, because, you know, whatever. But they go, like, across town. They go to the airport and run across the tarmac and chase things. It's like, man, this is like, man, it's like, you see this a lot in, like, comedies or romantic comedies where it's like, I'm on the airport and I'm running across something. It's like, that's dangerous enough for people. It's like, when you're just tiny and a toy made of plastic, it's like, it's almost like, wow. Like, you're gonna get, oh, jeez. That's happened to click outside the window. I have it windowed right now because it runs better that way. When Toy Story 3, I think the script is tighter and is more, like, well constructed. I mean, they had 9 years to write it, so you'd hope so. But, I mean, in a way, I'm sort of almost, like, Toy Story 2 was great, and I'm sort of like, okay, to get into a whole thing about which one was better, I'm sort of like, well, they're both great, so sort of like, why do we have to have it be that the bad be the enemy of the good, you know? The good be the enemy of the perfect be the enemy of the good. Rather, I said that completely wrong. Oh boy. So I don't really. As much as I think, you know, you gotta compare two things that are like one another. It's like, as opposed to, I didn't mean to put you there. What the hell am I doing? Whatever. I don't need that much sun. There's probably gonna be a cut here. Oh, there's one great scene in Toy Story 2 where, are you not dead yet? Wow, those things suck. I'll just put that so I can get rid of that dickweed. One scene I really liked in Toy Story 2 was in the toy store when Buzz meets an unwrapped version of Buzz himself, and he sees with such utter clarity how much of a fool he was back in the day. He's like, oh, tell me I was never this annoying. He's like, yeah, you were. And just picture every household in, like, whoever had a Buzz Lightyear doll experiencing the same thing. It's like every one of them, every toy in that house was driven crazy by this nutcase. Like, Star Command, I have found the new planet, and they have linoleum floors, and whatever else he would say. It's just like, man, like, he must have driven everyone crazy. And there's one, I should mention this specifically, there's an evil toy collector who, he has something in his pocket that Woody needs, so when he sneaks up on him, like, at first it just shows him asleep, and it shows him dropping this big, bowl of Jacks, of cheese puffs. And you think, okay, it's just a gag, and then, Woody looks out and he sees this minefield of crunchy cheese puffs out there that he can't step onto to avoid stepping on them. And I'm like, that's cool. I just like how it looked like it was a throwaway gag, and then it popped up and it became something actually semi-important. So I thought that was very interesting development. There's a song in the middle that I wasn't totally certain I liked that much. Mostly I was just trying to listen and see if it was actually sung by Joan Cusack. It wasn't, apparently. It was sung by Sarah McLachlan. It's like it's not like the characters are singing. It's just the song is supporting the backdrop. And I sort of liked the similar scene in Toy Story 2 better, where it has that clown with a frowny face talking about Lotso. I think Lotso is definitely a better and more interesting and more threatening character than anyone in this movie was. I think I think he is superior. Like I said before, they're good, you know, it's all good. So far, Pixar hasn't made a misstep, and I'm like, well, I'm sort of waiting for them to make a movie that everyone hates. And I'm like, what if they made a movie about a cockroach? Well, they did it, and it was called WALL-E, and it was like the best movie that year. If it wasn't the same year that Iron Man and The Dark Knight came out, it would have been the best movie that year. It was excellent. So I don't know. As far as what order I'd put them in, I still think I prefer Toy Story 3, but, I mean, I did see them out of order, so I can't really take credit for it. I'm glad I saw number 2, of course, but it looks like we're coming up towards the end here, so maybe I'll cut it off when this horde ends. I only see series out of order if I figure I can pick up the story, like with Toy Story 3 or Shrek 4, or if I know I do not give a crap about the story, like Night at the Museum 2, Alvin and the Chipmunks 2. I saw those without seeing the first one, and I know it does not matter for Alvin and the Chipmunks. There are chipmunks that sing, that's all you need to know. Alright, and they're inexplicably voiced by celebrities who are probably getting a decent paycheck to that. And then there's Jason Lee. It's not Jason Lee's fault he can say Alvin really well. That's not his fault. We can't blame him. Hey, eat this pumpkin. So I think that's it for me. Watch them slowly eat the pumpkin. Will he make it to that bomb in time? Oh, no, he lost his head. There's no way he is. There goes his arm. And then, boom. But as I said, that's it for me. This is King Kool. Drive home safe.